Is there more training than even we see on screen for the both of you, for both characters?
Yeah, I trained a lot harder for this film in different ways, though. You know, the whole stunt training, we really pushed me to the limit of what I was capable of doing. There's a sequence in the film, as I'm sure you know, where I don't wear a mask. And it basically required me to do almost all of my own stunts in that sequence. And it was just really, really fun working with a stunt team every day for about 6 weeks, just really, really grinding and making sure the stunts were A, safe, but B, Spider-Man level of badass.
I mean, yeah. I mean, again, I go back to Tom, but watching him do that is incredible. I mean, I think for me, a lot of times you want to be able to function within a stunt, but I didn't do a lot of the major stunts, you know. But I will say that the physicality of the character, and even just sometimes wearing the suit that I wear is really heavy. It was really hot out. It's like an entirely super 100-ply wool cape that I wear, and I didn't even realize that the training that I was doing was making me capable of wearing the suit over a long duration of time.
It's interesting because you're almost forced into having good posture.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you're like, oh, my back's like broken.
Yeah.
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 Well, I mean, follow-up question. Is there a celebratory meal when you finish filming? Like, you know, let's go, you know, for pizza, burgers, and, you know, all-you-can-eat buffets.
I'm at a very fortunate stage in my life where that's just every night.
He is at a very fortunate stage in his life where that's almost every night. I mean, I personally like to take care of myself and to make sure that I'm ready to get just not too long away from being able to prepare for any role that comes my way, because as an actor you don't really know what's going to come to you. So yeah, of course, but there was also a burger and some fries in between as well, because, you know, that suit covers up a lot.
I fancy pizza for lunch now.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I miss pizza post 30.
Well, post 15 in my case, but hey. Girls, no age for pizza, unfortunately.
Really? No,
for us.
that's not true.
Really?
That's not true at all.
No, it's not true at all.
I'm yet to meet a pizza that agrees with me. Or that doesn't. Anyway, that's
There's
another
no
subject.
pizza in the world that doesn't agree with us.
No, that's true.
That's the great thing
I
about
love pizza so much, man. Oh, I'm hungry now. What's the time? Oh, it's 1 o'clock.
It's nearly lunchtime.
It's close.
What I would say is the common aspect of those two characters is the psychological element. I mean, you know, the face value is that this is a superhero popcorn movie, but I think there's a lot of psychology in both the characters that is very interesting to dive into and then to read about in the comics. So is that a process you do when you take on Mysterio and Peter?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are aspects of this film that follow very closely the comics, and then there are aspects that are completely different and new ideas. And, you know, you read the script and you sit down with John, and then we sit down together and we talk about where the characters are going, where they've come from, and how we're going to get them to where we need them to be. And, you know, it's like kind of being at drama school, except it's costing $200 million to be there. We're not getting paid $200 million. The film
You
costs
wish, maybe one day.
$200 million. So yeah, it's just like a really, really awesome acting workshop exercise.
But the coolest thing too is that when you look through the comics, Spider-Man changes in so many ways.
Yeah.
Ages, abilities, you know, going through different things psychologically through all of them. So I think the choice can be pulled from many different comics of what Spider-Man's going to go through. And the same thing goes for Mysterio. I mean, the way in which he's shown in the comics as this antagonist and villain is very different from the way in which he's shown in this movie, which I think is the coolest thing about working with Marvel, that they have the ability and they also have the courage to be able to make those choices. I think that's what makes fans love the movie so much, is you don't really know what you're going to get. And he could be learning, and he does learn in this movie, a whole new world around him. You know, they really have taken him from Queens and thrown him into the world. And as a result, and this is a testament to Tom, he's gone from being a boy and is becoming a man. He is a man in this movie. And he's living up to that Spider-Man name in this movie in a way I don't think any of the Spider-Man movies have ever made Spider-Man live up to.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
He keeps having great answers.
Really good answers. I should just shut up.
No, please don't.
Well, I mean, she's familiar. I know
Yes,
her.
yes.
We've done this a number
Yes,
of times,
exactly.
so I think I feel comfortable. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, talk about traveling the world. Do you enjoy promoting it while traveling the world, or filming it while traveling the world? Or both occasions don't allow for a lot of sightseeing and exploring?
Well, the filming definitely allows for the sightseeing because we're filming in the places you'd want to sightsee. And what's quite cool is you get to see them in a capacity that you wouldn't do if you were just a tourist. You know, you go to these amazing places and they lock off a certain area. I know that when all the cast were filming at the Tower of London, they kind of got a private tour of the entire place, which is so cool. And that the history of that place is insane. So yeah, I think when you're filming is when you really get to do the proper sightseeing.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is pretty incredible. I think you have access because of the nature of Spider-Man, because of the size of the character and how much so many people in the world love that character, and being a part of that. I think you have access to incredible things. It's what makes the job so special in a lot of ways. And I have seen over the years, outside of this movie, so many extraordinary things thanks to my job. Met so many incredible people doing real things and actually changing the world in the ways in which I think as actors we pretend to. And so it's just, it's wonderful to be able to jump on the ride and fake it for a while and get access to special things.
Yeah.
Do you feel that Instagram helps a little bit with that because you own your narrative on Instagram and then you're able to share experiences directly with, especially in this one, you know, the fans are so vocal and present and waiting.
What I like about Instagram and what I've learned from Zendaya is that it's really important to make your Instagram an accurate representation of who you are as a person. You see lots of Instagram accounts and you're like, there's no way you're like that in real life. Like, this is the fake you that you want people to see. And I feel like I make an active decision to try and show people just who I am, not what I want you to think I am. And I just have really enjoyed the last couple of years kind of shaping my social profile to just be an extension of me. And then I can feel like I can connect with my fans on a more personal level rather than this kind of silly hierarchy thing that Instagram often kind of makes.
Well, I'm here. I'm a little late to the game in that I'm here to say that Tom is actually the way he portrays himself on Instagram. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but I do. No, I'm just kidding. He is that way. And I, you know, for me, I just came up in a different time, you know. And I think that, you know, it's an interesting thing. I don't think it's possible to ever control your narrative, really. I think that people's opinions are just always people's opinions, and that's just how it is. There are people who adore people, and there are people who don't like people, and that's what makes humans incredible. But it's yet another way for people to sort of get to know someone. But I also find that when I run into people on the street recently more and more, they'll say, oh, hey, can we take a picture? I'm like, oh, not right now, but you want to talk? And they're like, no, not really. So people don't really want to get to know you. They basically just want to take a picture, which is something I'm learning as well. It's an interesting time.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
No talk, just tag.
I'm not really interested. It's not
No
really
talk,
about you.
just
I just like
tag.
to take a picture if you don't mind.